In this video, we're going to learn how to use the Track Changes feature in Excel. Often when you're sharing documents with other people, you might need to collaborate on a spreadsheet. So let's look at the one that we have on the screen, for instance. This it's a capital budget proposal, and let's say perhaps there are two different people that input the information into the spreadsheet. Maybe there's one person who's responsible for the software and there's one person who's responsible for the hardware. Well, when changes are being made, we can use the Track Changes feature to keep track of the changes that each of those individuals are making, and even print a report of those changes for future reference. So I'm just going to go ahead, let's say I'm the one that's responsible for hardware, and I'm just going to make a few changes to the spreadsheet. But I want Excel to remember the changes I'm making and to report on them later. So I'm going to go to my Review tab. Over here on the right, there's a Track Changes section, and I'm going to click on Highlight Changes. So I want to make sure that I've checked off to track changes while editing, and note that it automatically shares your workbook, so it creates a shared workbook that we'll see up top. I want everyone to be able to see it, and I want Excel to highlight the changes on the screen as I go. I'll click OK, and then I can start making some changes. And notice as I make changes, Excel puts a box around the cell to tell me that changes have been made. So I'm going to change the name to Cisco Deluxe 2621 router. And so now I've made, if I click over here, 1, 2, 3, 4 different changes to this spreadsheet. I'm going to save this onto my desktop. There's already one there, so I'll go over top of it. And then I'm going to exit. So let's say now that the second person who uses this spreadsheet is now going to open it up and is going to have a look at it. Right now can't really see much of anything, but if I go to Review and go to my Track Changes, I can go to Accept or Reject each of the changes. So I want to look at all the ones that have not yet been reviewed, and by everyone. So anybody who has made changes, I want to be able to accept them or reject them. So what Excel will do now is it will move through the spreadsheet, stopping on each cell. So this particular cell I made changes to earlier. So it did have NA in it, now it has 2255. So I'm going to accept that. It's then going to go to the next cell. It's going to tell you who made the change, the date and time, and what was there and what's there now. So I can accept it. Same with the next. It's going to give you that information. Accept it, and where I made the deluxe, I put the word deluxe in. I'll go accept, and then the dialog box disappears because all of the changes have been either accepted or rejected. I also can print a report. So if I go back to my highlight changes, I could say instead of highlight changes on screen, I can click list changes on a new sheet. I want to change that to all and make sure everyone is chosen, because I want to see all of the changes by anyone, and I want it on a new worksheet. So we're going to look down here, and hopefully a new worksheet will appear. And there it is. So it's a history sheet that appears that tells you the date, the time, who made the changes, what cell was changed on which sheet, what's the cell address or range, and then the changes that were made, the new and the old. So it gives you that information. You can print this, so you could just print this particular sheet, file it, attach it to your spreadsheet, save it as a new document. The history sheet, though, does not stay with the file, so when you save and close your worksheet, the history sheet goes away. See how that happened? So I clicked on save and the history sheet's gone. You can rerun that history sheet at any time. But if you want to print one to document the changes, you can do so that you can then file it. That might be an important feature to use when you're in the medical field to keep track of changes that happen, especially if they're mandated by the various ministries that you'll be working with. And so that's how you use the Track Changes feature in Excel.